Greetings, Athena the Witch here. Sorry I haven't been on for quite a while. We've had some medical issues in the family and changing jobs as well. Things got pretty hectic, and so I needed to take time out and reevaluate what was going on. But you were never far from my thoughts. And it came to my mind that some people were asking about books to read. Now, I'm a book reader, so I love to read, and I have quite an arsenal of books. Now, are books necessary for the craft? Well, yes and no. Okay. Um, don't get too wound up with the books. Okay. Remember that each book is written by someone's own perspective. Okay. And so, what I do when I read books on witchcraft, I take what resonates with me, okay? And what doesn't, I leave. So, what works for you is what works for you. And what doesn't, then just discard it. I have a couple of books that I think are really special and that you might want to take a look at, see if it resonates with you. One of them is the book of the herb spell, and this is the book here, if you can see. Okay, and it has a lot of. It's by Sherilyn Darcy, and it has a lot of interesting stories about the herbs that you would work with during your witchcraft, dates of the week, the timing of it, timing of the moon phases, things like that. I don't get too caught up in that. Obviously, if it's a new moon, that's when you really want to manifest. Okay. Um, and of course, with the full moon. Um, but it's really very nice. They have things like comfrey and dill, get closer spells, margarine communication, chive garden guardian spell, you know, passion flower sweet family spell, time new place spell. So I mean, it has all of these catnip change a work spell. If you want to change your job, sandalwood and cinnamon better business spell. So it has a lot of different things. Angelica and honeysuckle release ground and balance spell. So it's really worth taking a look at. Sage and nutmeg faith keeping spell. Okay. So it's an interesting book, at least I found, anyhow. And then you have another one, which I like very much, Tea Witch Grimoire. See this. And this is by S.M. Harlow. Okay, magical recipes for your tea time. Now, if you're a tea toddler, this is a great book. Okay. Um, I kind of vacillate between coffee and tea. And I notice that when I'm coming down with a cold or something's not right in my system, I automatically go to tea. I don't know. Um, there's a hex breaker tea, there's a psychic eye tea, there's a silver tongue tea, moon teas and S-bats, full moon tea, new moon, waxing, waning. So these are all about your grimoire for witches' teas. Very insightful, and I enjoyed it a lot. This one is Wicca Book of Spells, a beginner's book of shadows for Wiccans, witches, or other practitioners of magic. Lisa Chamberlain. And I kind of like this book a lot too. It's very interesting. Basically, with this accessible guide, okay, Wiccan author Lisa Chamberlain, even beginners can perform spells to help bring about positive experiences into their lives and the lives of those that they love. From thousands of spells, Lisa has chosen 50 of the most essential, distilled into three key categories: love, relationships, wealth, prosperity, health, and well being. The spells incorporate a variety of magical approaches and techniques, from candle magic to divination to charms, and includes relationship, strengthening spells, romance, attraction, smudge spells to release negative attachments, moonlight prosperity spell, ritual to unplug and realign. That one's a good one. Anxiety calming spell. We all can use that. Burning question clarity spells when you have questions that you need an answer to. Avocate beauty spell. Hey, everyone can use that. Full moon crystal, quartz battery change, and much, much more. So I did find this book quite interesting, obviously. Um, Peace of Mind oil blend spell that gives you instructions on that. Um, this one, spare keys spell for spiritual connection, to your higher self. And this is the 3-herb love charm spell. So it's very interesting. Wealth and prosperity spells, moonlight prosperity spell, spring blossom spell. Before you know it, spring will be around the corner. I don't know about you, but I like this book. And in New Jersey, I'm in what they call the North Central New Jersey, if you will. I kind of think it's more southern. Um, we've had some cold days, and we are in a cold day right now. Supposedly next week things will start warming up. We've had some snow, I would say 1 to 3 inches. Some of them, stuck for a while, and I understand we're getting more Friday, so we'll see how that goes. But it's winter, it's winter. The trees are bare, the grounds are cold. Getting into your car in the morning, you have to warm it up 15 minutes, before driving. Opening the door is a task at itself when everything is frozen. But it's winter. It's another season. It's a time for a lot of shadow work. Okay. And I bring that up because shadow work is something that we tend to put on the burner. We don't really want to um, think about things that are unpleasant or things that we hold inside. But all those things fester, you know, and they build up because you never resolve them. So, shadow work is a good way of getting in touch with those feelings that you stuck so deep down inside of yourself. And it's not easy, it's difficult. And one has to be ready to confront the monkey on the back, so to speak. A lot of things that we hold in come back to haunt us from our childhood. I mean, we may think we're doing well and great, you know, but we know we're not. We're not sure why we're not, but we know we're not. And if you take the time to start going back as far as you can remember about things in your childhood that were unpleasant, and how did you deal with it? Did you try and escape through music, through acting, through dreaming? Or did you rebel? There's a lot of things and a lot of ways that people deal with pain. And it's a deep seated pain. It's a pain that just festers until we have confronted. Everyone has shadow work to do. Yours truly. And I find that It's very cathartic when I address it. And it makes me understand why I react the way I do today to certain things. Now, shadow work is not for everyone, okay? You have to be mentally ready for it. It is all encompassing. I've had tears, I've screamed, I got angry, enraged at some of the things that I thought that I had dealt with in my past, only to find out that not really. I just put a band-aid on it, and now, right now, I'm ready to confront. I'm ready to say I'm forgiving those who have hurt me in the past. I wish them well, whether they're in the physical plane or not. And I understand better that maybe they didn't have all the skills that they needed in their lifetime to deal with everyday burdens. You know, you can only do what you know, you can only understand what you know. So if you didn't have an upbringing that allowed you to experience a lot of good, positive things, then you only had the negative to draw back on. So instead of blaming the people that have hurt me in the past, I wish them well, whether they're here in the now or in another plane. I release that anger. I release that resentment. I release everything that held me back. And I wish them well. And this is how you attract good, positive vibes, by getting rid of the old negative ones to let you now be free, because you are now free to do what it is you want to do, believe what you want to believe. Um, this is a book on shadow magic, very good book, and it is by Coley. That's all it says. It says Nikki Vanderkar, author of Practical Magic, and it's illustrated by Coley. And it says unlock your shadow. Okay, so each of us contains joys and fear, laughter and sorrow, brightness and shadow. And while we may often feel pressure to show only our sunny self in moments, there is magic and energy and potential in the shadow. And we cannot be the fullest expression of ourselves at our most powerful unless we embrace and embody all that we are. See, we are negative and positive, okay? You can't have one without the other. So, shadow magic is your enchanted guide to uncovering, understanding, and celebrating your own shadow through exploration of the moon, dream magic, symbology, tarot, candle ritual, and more. Best-selling author Nikki Van Carr teaches us to work with the shadow rather than trying to suppress it or ignore it, allowing each of us to uncover the whole integrated that is within us. And that's why I like this book. And it goes through everything. It goes through tarot. It goes through Tamasi, when you're reading tea leaves, the unseen, the Baba Yaga candle. It works with symbols, sigil magic, all of these wonderful things here. Yeah, yeah. And it tells you what they are and you gravitate towards what attracts you, what works for you. And it talks about all of the symbols of, silver, gold, iron, tin. I'm a person who basically is silver. I wear both. You know, some days I feel like I'm more gold than I am silver. So I'll wear a combination. Excuse me. But I think The Shadow Magic is a book that really gets you in touch with your inner self, okay? And explains to you all the phases of the moon and what they do and how you can incorporate your own needs with them. So I really do like this book. Another book is if you're a tarot person, which I am, and I have so many books on tarot, and I have so many decks on tarot, but I keep on going back to the Rider White deck. It's the one that I learned when I was 14. Um, and I spend every day learning one card at a time. And I am amazed when I do readings, and I do professional readings, um, depending on the layout of the cards and the feelings that I'm getting from the cards, I will notice something different in a card that I didn't see before. And that is your higher self, okay, that you're connecting to. And it's giving you insight as to what is going on. So prior to doing any tarot reading, I get very quiet and I bring in my angels. I work with Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Ariel, and I focus on what it is I am supposed to find out through these cards. Not necessarily the question that you may be asking, okay? And sometimes I don't even ask if you have a question. I see what the cards tell me, and that's what needs to be said. You may have questions, and maybe I answered them, maybe I didn't. Because at this moment and at this time, this is what the cards are saying. Doesn't mean that what you wanted to ask or did ask is not going to happen. It's just not now. Okay? The cards are saying this is what's going on in your life. This is what you need to do. Okay? It's up to you whether you want to follow through or not. But this is what the cards are telling me. I'll give you a quick story. Years ago, I was invited on a yacht with my cousin who threw a big party. And he had arranged for a psychic to come on board and read everyone. So my sister went first, my sister Mary, and she was okay with her reading. She was satisfied. Let's put it that way. And came to me, and my sister said, "Well, how'd you like the reading?" And I said, "Nice lady, but I don't relate to what she told me. Sorry, can't get it." Now, all our readings were tape recorded, and we were given a cassette to take home. And she told me things that I really could not relate to because at that given time, I didn't have a pot to piss in. I lived in the Bronx. I had 2 children, weren't thinking of having any more children. And she told me that I was going to live in New Jersey and buy a house. And I said, "Oh, that's nice." Okay. "And you're going to have 4 kids." And I'm thinking, okay, no, I don't think so. "And you're going to be a nurse." Excuse me? "And you love singing." Well, that's true. That she hit. Um, she says, "Yeah, that's what's going to happen with you." So I took it with a grain of salt. Um, Years went by. And I'm in my house in New Jersey, in the basement, trying up, and I see this cassette. So I put it on. It was a good thing I was sitting because everything she said was true. It came true. I moved to New Jersey, bought a house, had 4 kids. Oh, I'm sorry. She told me I'm going to have 3 boys and a girl, which I did. That I was going to be a nurse, which I am. None of this was ever in my mind at the time of the reading. All I wanted to know is what's going to happen. And she told me what's going to happen, but in the future. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that when you go for reading, you may not get the answer to your question if you did ask a question that you want to hear, but you may get what the universe is telling you need to hear, okay, that you need to act upon. So be open-minded, and search for your inner truth, okay? We all, have desires and wishes and, better job, prosperity, and things like that. I will tell you this. I left a very lucrative job recently. I loved what I did, but it was just too demanding. And with the medical issues my husband is going through, it really did not leave me time for him. And my husband has cancer, and he's also on dialysis 3 times a week. And unfortunately, the chemo did not work. And so he was deadly sick with the chemo. He was in and out of the hospital. And that's why I haven't been on. So now he's going to go for surgery, and hopefully they'll remove whatever they can of the cancer because it has not invaded an organ. And we'll go from there. Radiation is out of the question because he had radiation on the first operation he had. So the surgery is buying us time, so to speak. So I would love if you could say some prayers for us, whatever your belief system is. I know that I think prayers are powerful. Meditation is powerful because prayer is meditation, if you will. But yeah, he could use a break. He's been through a lot. But again, I'm very hopeful. I send positive vibes, and we'll get through this. We're a family. And I do know that my friends who are witches feel that as well. We spend a lot of time on this earth, and I don't think we take in what's out there. There's so much beauty in every season, in everything that we do. And we just tend to focus on the negative sometimes when there's so much positive. So what I'm saying to you is think more positive. I had this book, and it's one of many books on tarot, which I really like. It's The Witch's Complete Guide to Tarot. Okay. And it says, Unlock Your Intuition and Discover the Power of the Tarot by Patty Wingington. Okay. So it says, learn to trust your intuition and find your inner magic with tarot. Harness the centuries-old power of tarot for self-evaluation, introspection, and personal growth. With this modern magical guide, through accessible spell and exercises, The Witch's Complete Guide to Tarot shows you how to incorporate tarot into your magic and witchcraft practice. You will discover the story history of tarot cards, and it goes back way when. How to choose a deck that resonates with you. Like I said, to me, it's the Rider-Waite deck. Ways to integrate tarot into your work spell, rituals and magic, how to embrace your authentic self and celebrate your journey. This guide for modern witches show how tarot cards and all of the included icons, archetypes, and hidden mysteries are powerful and essential tools to the modern magic. Yeah, it's a very good book, I have to say. And like I said, I have so many books. Now, some of these suits in here are of the Rider-Waite, and some are of different cards. Okay, so it's talking about when you read tarot. Okay, when you do tarot, you are working on a higher plane. Okay, you're working with your spirit guides, your angels, and what comes through is what you need to know. So sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's about struggles and how to um, work through those struggles. But again, it's all up to you whether you want to do the work or not. Um, and like I said, I have many books on tarot, I have many decks on tarot, but I keep going back to Rider-Waite. Why? The Rider-Waite deck is so intricate. It talks about the colors that the person in the picture on the card is wearing. The closest colors to the body are what are more significant. So if you have red, you're talking about a fiery person, personality. If you have orange, a little bit more mellow, yellow, creative, purple up there, higher plane, blue, harmonious, green, heart, health, pink, love, same. So they show you these symbols and what they mean. And it's up to you to understand each and every suit, going from the wand, some call it the baton in other decks, to the chalice, the cup, to the sword, okay, and to the pentacle. Now, my grandmother, she didn't have the Rider-Waite deck. She used the playing cards. So we had the heart, the diamond, the club, the spade, and that's how she read the cards, Well, it was interesting. It really didn't tell me much. So when I got my hands on the Rider-Waite deck card, I was like, whoa, this is telling me a story. Okay. And that's what it is. When these cards are spread out in front of you, you are creating a story based on what you see. And it's a leap of faith. Okay. So, no, it's up to you. But I think that tarot is phenomenal. Like I said, I do private readings. If you ever wanted a reading, you can get in touch with me here on YouTube, or you can write me at Athena the Witch 53, and I will answer you. Okay. Now, I do some pro bono readings, and I do them for people who really can't afford it, and I don't charge much because I want to be accessible to everyone. So what I charge is $25 for half an hour, and I think that's very reasonable. I was in Salem, Massachusetts, and 15 minutes was $50. And I was like, I know they have to make money, but really, you know, okay, that's their thing. But yeah, so if you want to reach me for a reading, and I do pro bono readings for those who really can't afford it. So reach out to me, Athena the Witch 53.com. Yeah, and let's see where that goes. I have another book. Now, this one is very close to my heart. Okay. Appalachian Witchcraft for Beginners. Okay. It's the history, remedies, and spells of rich folk magic tradition, of which, okay, this is by Orban Lidlig. I love this book, and I will tell you why. A lot of what is in here, my grandmother did. And when I read this book, I felt close to Grandma and my mother. Understanding Appalachian Folk Magic. Now, the foundation of your magical practice is established. You can begin to expand your understanding of some of the most influential aspects of Appalachian witchcraft. From interpreting signs and omens to connecting with your ancestors to receiving messages from spirits, unlocking the wisdom of the lineage allows you to build your practice in a way that honors the original Appalachian witches. In this tradition, belief holds so much power. Throughout this chapter, you will be introduced to some of the most important beliefs in the Appalachian lineage and how they shape the practice, and you will begin to understand why those beliefs are still held today. Whether it's honoring an old superstition or heeding a symbol in a dream, the original beliefs of this practice enrich our modern magical journey. This chapter guides you to connect with your ancestral lineage and the spirit realm to strengthen your practice. You will also learn more about the power of your intention and the importance of your dedication as you journey deeper into Appalachian magic. By the end of this chapter, you should be acquainted with many of the beliefs that influence the original practitioners and still hold deep today and resonates. So it has anything from acknowledging your ancestral spirits, utilizing the earth's energy for healing and protection, the power of words from the Bible. Now, Grandma and my mother, and even I, uh, we are Christian women. Okay. We went through Catholicism to Baptist to Presbyterian, you name it. But all in all, we are Christian witches. And so we rely on the Bible a lot in our spells. Okay. There are significant signs and omens in Appalachian witchcraft. What is the difference between a yarb doctor and a witch? And it goes through all of that. Very, very interesting. Appalachian superstition, always go out the same door as you came in. If you spill salt, throw a pinch over your left shoulder. Don't walk under a ladder. Oh my goodness. My mother was really big on that one. Always say bless you after a sneeze. Don't go outside with wet hair. These are all things. Communicating with spirits for your guidance. Be careful when calling upon spirits. Protect yourself. Always put a white light, a bubble around you, okay, before doing any magical work. And I do that even when I get in my car. The bubble around the car, around me, for safe journey. The use of charms in Appalachian folk magic. What are folk rites? A clear To be clear with your magical intentions. Invite good luck into your home, preparing your mind, body, and spirit before you do a reading. Have practice with yourself and your practice. Preparing your tools and ingredients. So it really goes through a lot. Um, Open healing channels, healing heart ritual bath, rejuvenate with beauty magic, soothing tea for a sore throat, let food be thy medicine, intentional meal preparing. So exhalate for a calm mind, cleanse your space of impurities. And that's the other thing, cleansing your space. Okay. Before you call in anyone or anything, cleanse your space. Okay. Um, when I work in my witch room, this is it. See if you can see other things in my room. Yeah. Um, I got so much stuff. It's not funny. Yeah. Yeah. It's my witching room. It's even this one here. I don't know if you can see everything, but yeah. I have no more space. I have no more space to put anything. I have books lined up here on the floor. um, I just accumulate so much, but it's an accumulation over the years. Now, you don't necessarily have to have all this. You don't. I like it. It sets the mood. It sets the tone. It relaxes me. I come in this room and I just feel so good about everything, you know? That's the only way for me to put it. I just feel so good about everything. Well, I'm going to end this, and I hope that, wherever you are in your journey, that you are happy, that you are progressing, and I wish you the best, as always. Till we meet again, so might it be. God bless all. Bye bye.